Goku looks so fucking cool. There's no reason for me not to play him.
I got called a name and then insulted for using my extra large control.
But like, honestly, I'm be real with you. I'm about to go try hard mode on this demo build.
Called him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another consecutive week of Mount Paozu Arcade. I am Meta Abe, and I'm here with my co-host Hell Pockets, with a special guest. Not his first time on Game Goon's channel, but the first time on MPA. No Kami, top 8 finisher at Evo. What up, man?
What's going on, man? Really glad to be here. Super glad to be here. Huge fan. Huge fan. Okay.
This guy's been telling us the entire time, like he's just like, you guys are the part of the reason why I am who I am, and I'm like, whoa, please don't give me that kind of power, no Kami. You understand how much I can do with that kind of clout.
That kind of clout.
I will definitely put that on my resume. No Kami got in the top 8 at Evo 2018 because of me. There we go. Who the hell is Reynolds?
I'm telling you guys, man. Freaking, I love the whole Game Goon switch, what you guys do and what y'all did before. So,
you know, it's so crazy, man. Like we talked about this more than a few times after Evo about how we knew of you and in a certain capacity, and then you rolled through the Goon Suite, and dog, I've never heard somebody have or felt somebody have so much confidence in their play and literally achieve everything that they said that they were going to do. That was shocking and crazy to witness your progress throughout that night and into the end of Evo, man. It was like, what the fuck? Did this dude really just do this shit?
So like, I mean, I don't want to take away too much, but I was like, I'm calling your match getting into top 8. And I'm just like, man, this dude was really in my room last night. And he's proven everything he just said. It is rare to see this happen in real time, much less to commentate it. And I'm like, man, how am I not supposed to be biased here?
Well, I mean, you guys, people tell me that a lot. They always bring that up. They're like, man, like, you're so confident, like borderline, you know, almost overconfident. Like, how? Like, why do you like believe in yourself so much, or why do you like proclaim these things? And it's because, God, anytime you put 900 hours into a game or something, you better be somewhat confident, you know. And like plans, everything's the best with plans. Like, I know how strong I am. It's just going out there and executing. So I had a plan, and I talked to you guys. Yeah, you're right. I talked to you guys about that the night before, and then it was just executing, because like I know how much time I put in, but what happens is, like, guys, they get to where they need to actually do it, and it's like, man, like they freeze up or something like that. And like, I've played sports all my life, so I was a college football player, all that stuff. So I take that mindset and I put it towards fighting games. Like on game day, you freeze up, you get smacked, you know? So
damn right.
You know, so I have to have that level of confidence, because if I don't believe in me, you know, no one knows me. No one's gonna believe in me like I do. So I think that's the first step, like just knowing that you can do it, you know. So
that's a great mentality to have, you know, like much like, you know, going up for a pass, and like you can't be afraid to catch the ball, because you're gonna get hit in the chest, right?
You're gonna get hit.
You just gotta be ready for that. You gotta brace for it. And like you said, a lot of people don't really either don't know how to steal their nerves, or maybe sometimes they don't even want to, because they're just like, man, like maybe I'm not that serious about fighting games, dude. But no, you did the damn thing, and at a certain point in your performance that evening, I was just like, man, he's actually got the poise, and poise was the word of the night, because few players that, especially outside of the known tops, have that kind of poise, right? And you had it, sir.
And I'm gonna be honest, this is gonna sound bad. After I thought I was gonna win, like the goal was to go in and win. Like I built this whole elaborate plan, like X marks the spot here. We're gonna do this, all this, you know, and it didn't work out. But I was happy with the performance, because it let me know that, you know, you on the right track. Like, you're not. Some people, they get so far inside their own head that they like they're like, I'm a genius, like nothing else matters. But for me, it's like I want to know that I was glad that my play validated like my thought process and the way I thought. So yeah, like you gotta have the poise, because if you don't, you're gonna go up there and like drop combos or like the easy stuff, the easy fundamental stuff that you do every day in training room or when you play, like you're gonna drop it. So yeah, I just came in with the mindset that I can't have that. Like if I lose, it's gonna have to be to the other guy. It's not gonna be to me going up there and dropping a combo or acting like I haven't been here when I've done this thing all these times. So yeah.
You know, that level of consistency with your mental fortitude was really impressive, because here's the thing, man. It's not that the way you got to where you're at wasn't because you didn't make mistakes. It's what you did in response to those mistakes that allowed you to ascend to where you went. And like me personally, I noticed that from the night that you came to our room when you played against Reynolds, because you would take a step back, right? But it was so unique to see the contrast between you and Reynolds that night, because you'd like falter, but dude, you weren't gonna get toppled over. You weren't gonna fall. You know, it's kind of, dude, it's kind of like when somebody tries to go for a takedown in MMA and somebody keeps stopping it. You know, like it's getting so close, and then you always had your poise. You were steady as a rock, and it was crazy to see that all the way into top 8, where you got crushed for one round, and then you fucking made a massive comeback. You know?
let me people
just talk us through that, please.
Mad people have asked me about that. I was actually kind of hot, because what happened was he landed like 2 back-to-back like really situations that I was prepared for, and like I knew what to do, but like it happened really fast. So I was angry. I was like, man, like this guy, he killed 21. She shouldn't have died. Then my cell just got erased immediately. So I was like, yo, this is gonna look real bad if you if you get perfected in this first game. But like all jokes aside, online, like I'm an online monster. I try to go to as many things as I can. I've made Goku Black comebacks like that a lot of times, like tons of times. So I knew it was possible. But like it's like Hook told me, you know, me and Hook, we laugh a lot. He's a good friend of mine. And before the tournament, he was like, yo, this is how Hook talks, guys. He was like, so Kami. No, I know, I asked him. I was like, Hook, like, what do I gotta do? What do we have to do to win this tournament? And he was like, you know what, Kami? It's not about being good. It's about being OD. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, is that what you're thinking? Like, so that's correct. I was like, that's what won Summit, being OD?
Yeah, but yeah, basically that's all he ever said.
And I was like, okay. So when he touched Death's my next character, and I'm like, okay, he spent sparking. So one, I have something he doesn't have. And contrary to popular belief, Goku Black is not a bad sparking character. You know, that character, come on, like the character can literally be anywhere he wants to be in like 30 frames. So like any teleport, any dive kick, he can always get out of situations and start situations for himself. Like his main weakness being no too up low, right? But if you're steady and you don't, how do I say this? A lot of the times I hit Kubo, it wasn't from mix-ups. It was 2Hing. It was just from being steady. You know, I said, I'm going to, as long as I can get rid of like one of his characters, I feel like I can outplay Payson, because that's what the character does. Goku Black is a good character, guys. This is a narrative that he's really bad, but it's because you have to play him a certain way, I feel like. But yeah, the whole time I was like, when I got Touch of Death, I was like, guys, this is Evo top 8. You cannot get perfected in your first game. This is gonna be horrible. Like, it's gonna be really demoralizing. So it was actually really, once he spent sparking though, because if he would have killed Cell without sparking, it probably would have been impossible. But once he spent sparking, I was like, okay, I'm coming in with 5 bars. I can punish everything. I can do a lot. And, you know, I just had to make it happen. Like when my coach used to tell me, when adversity hits, like, what are you going to do? Like, it's like Goku, right? When Goku was getting bodied by Frieza, he could have died or he could have turned Super Saiyan. So I actually probably got a Zenkai boost from getting my first 2 characters bodied like that. But yeah, it was all about staying steady, and just being confident in my reads. You know, anytime we've seen this in KOF 1v3. We've seen this in Marvel 2. We've seen this in pretty much all games without a dedicated, really strong comeback mechanic like X Factor or V Trigger. When you're down, you have to make reads. You know, and I'm a very fundamentally sound player. I pride myself on my fundamentals, and I don't like making mistakes. But sometimes when you are forced to be put in a position where it's do or die, you got to do something. You know, rock, paper, scissors. You got to choose rock, paper, or scissors. So I was confident in my reads, and it paid off. It paid off right there. He also didn't know how to defend a lot of things, so that helped. But yeah, that's pretty much what was going through my head during that.
I feel like that's the kind of same mentality behind certain characters, like you say, like Ryo Sakazaki in KOF, who can't really pull the heavy mix-up game on you, but he can definitely control the pace of the match.
Exactly.
Where you might have wanted to go in, but you're like, wait a minute, he's got like X, Y, Z to just stop me from doing anything.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden, my character, who's really bad at thinking about what he's supposed to do, has to think about what he's supposed to do next. And oh no, he's on top of me. You know?
Yep. Exactly. And that's how fast it can happen with Goku Black too. That being said, Kupo is a really strong player. Like I had to pull that out of my ass, so to speak.
You pulled two comebacks out of your ass, sir, and I called it on the house mic both times, and I was like, you know what? The second time was just magic. The first time that might have been luck. Second time was definitely wizardry.
Yeah,
you know, Combo Fiend. To give credit to Combo Fiend, he so famously told us at a KOF tournament, he was like, he played some dude who was better than him in the game. And I guess in a way that he was a veteran, right? But he was playing against them, and he saw a weakness in him, and he said, "This motherfucker's fragile. This is a fragile ass motherfucker." Yes. It was like, he's a piece of glass. I just hit him slightly, and he crushed into little pieces. He was like, "I got him." And every time I saw you play, I was like, "That's what no Kami is, man. No Kami is the dude that you just cannot push over. It keeps coming back. What are those wobbly things that never really fall? They just keep popping back up."
You talking about the I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Weeble Wobble or whatever they call that.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that's no Kami. And the other dude is like, you just push him, and he's like, hey, why you push me, man?
Mr. Glass.
You know? And he just broke to pieces. And that how you're describing how, you know, you came from sports and stuff like that is so interesting to see, and I feel like that really helped you, especially not being around for so long, to have such a strong mental fortitude. Because last week we were talking about how some players aren't just able to crack those high top 8 placings because they're mentally start to break when the plan doesn't go as planned. You know.
Yeah. True. There's people who the plan will be going great, and they're like, nah, this is too good to be true. Like Apology Man's one of those guys. Was like, man, everything's working. I've talked to him about this. I'm like, dude, you had the mix up going. You have the unblockable shit. It's over. He's like, nah, man, he already got hit by the 8 times. He's not gonna eat it the 9th time. I'm like, why not?
It definitely is. That's actually, it's funny you bring that up because this was my first time being on a stage this big. Reno actually he came kind of hard at me after.
Oh, dude.
No, because I lost to Goichi. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a joke. It was a pretty big joke. It was because in both games I killed his cell immediately. Like killed his cell. And you guys know in Dragon Ball, when you lose that point character, it's hard times, you know, especially if the guy hasn't used sparking yet. So I killed his cell, I picked Zamasu, everything I thought about was working, and I was like, wow. I was like, this guy, he has to know how to fight this. So I became complacent. I became really what's the word? Like not nonchalant, but I went like curl back into my shell when I should have pressed the offense more. I should have been the player that I know I am. And when I lost to Goichi, Reno walks up to me. He was like, yo, like what happened? Like you like, oh, for example, like I was gonna kill his Bardock and I had 7 bars and I missed the 236 L and I never missed that. And I'm like, I just missed the super input to kill him. Like that's clearly like I think I was a bit starstruck. I'm not gonna lie, but like that, it was going too well. I'm like, man, like I'm really doing this.
That's the one, baby.
I'm like, everything worked. Like the plan actually worked.
Is this man not actually good?
I was like, wow, I thought he was. I was opening him up. I was like, wow, like I thought the defense was ridiculous. But I've known about Koichi for a long time. He's a really decorated player from Melty Blood. from even Guilty Gear. He's played a ton of games, So I know of him, but I've just never had a chance to play international talent at that in that type of stage. In Guilty Gear, like my only losses came from like international players too. So it's something that I definitely. It's not that I'm afraid or don't believe in myself. I know I'm as strong or stronger, but I feel like I need to be in those positions more. And it's the same with like Apology Man. Like if he's in that position where he can like do the hell zone and like unblockable, you can't block it. If he does it 1,000 times, eventually he's gonna know like, oh, this works. But like if you only get to be on at Evo one time, so it's like you don't have that confidence, So I think that's what it was funny you brought that up because that's what's happened to me.
Well, yeah, it's just like the quintessential, like everything's going great. Why don't I just throw myself off the bridge?
Everything's going great. Let me just level 3.
Level 3, like, oh, he won't expect this. Yeah. But yeah, no, you had quite a run there, and again, it was almost 98% poise, and we've seen some players who like have had the poise throughout almost since forever, and they seem to be losing it almost. I definitely think top 8 was a topsy-turvy world because like we had seen Dogra in every Dragon Ball FighterZ top 8 up until that point, and he had definitely been like sort of slipping a little bit. First crack was probably at Summon of Power, and then it happens again at Evo where he just got trashed.
Yeah. But like the players he's losing to, like he's never played a player like Reno before.
No, definitely not. That was for sure his first time getting stung by that.
Get stung.
He got stung, dude. Like beehive.
Yeah. I have never played. Well, I've played players like Reno, but the way he thinks, how quick it is, like, and how quickly he makes adjustments and is willing to make reads, that's the complete opposite of the Japanese play style. Like, their only focus is like not making mistakes, and that's why Kazunoko does so well against them too, because he's willing to make these reads and he's willing to like go against the grain, and it's against their fundamental mindset to like make those mistakes. Why win with a risk when you can win without any risk? And that's how they think. But like sometimes you gotta do it. It's a fighting game. Like it's not Connect 4. It's
actually interesting you say that too, because I was thinking like a lot of people talk about how Kazunoko can't be conditioned, and really you would assume that most of the evidence of that comes from him playing other Japanese players, because like if anybody's going to get conditioned, it's probably going to be against a Japanese player. But he probably purposefully plays that way against him because he's like, they're always going to do the same thing. They're never going to think outside the box.
Yeah, I think it's more of a case of they don't want to lose. And myself, I know how it is because I think the same exact way. Like they don't want to lose in a way, myself included, that is where I lost because like I made a mistake. Like, or I could have been like, I didn't have to be here, but like I chose the thing with the larger return with the higher risk. So they tend to like, play kind of like not like turtles per se to where they're scared or defensive, but they play or slow, but they play in a way that's very fundamentally sound. And you can take advantage of that. If I know you're going to shoot from the free throw line every time, when you go up to the basket, then maybe I'm just going to be there this time. I'm going to leave it open. And that's how Kazunoko thinks. And that's how Reno thinks. And it's really interesting. I don't like playing those types of guys, because I want to sit in my shell, shoot the basketball from my shell and make threes from there. Those guys force you out. So I don't like playing it, but it's something that is really important. It's really important that you do play against it,
I definitely think like I guess a way to put it is like they use it as a crutch, where if you knock that away and you give them something that it's not like quantifiable, where it's like, fuck, well, this frame doesn't work with here and this scenario doesn't work this way, then what the fuck? How do I deal with the thing that I just can't create a strategy to just mitigate?
Exactly. That is a great way.
And Kazunoko and Reno can blow that shit wide the fuck open. And that's how you get these reverse fucking OCVs type shit. I mean, you say you're a fan of 13, man. Reynolds run, and we talk about it all the time to Evo 2K13. This dude, that's the way he won a reverse. He was going to go out. He was going to lose. Like, it was so close. And this dude just blew it wide open because he started doing things that you just can't account for. It's full-blown reads. He's understanding the comfortability that a lot of these types of players play in. Like, you become comfortable in the fact that, like, I'm gonna impose this strategy that is really, really fucking good. Don't get me wrong. Like, their strategy is pretty tight. But when he starts picking at the seams at everything, those gaps start to get bigger and bigger. And if you don't play against a solid, mentally solid person, dude, it can turn into open season, man.
Yeah, and I think the player we're not talking about the most when it comes to that is Sonic Fox. That's what he's best at.
Yes.
That when me and him played in the anime suite, we played first to 3. He beat me 1-3. In both games, I was bodying him free. I was like, this guy, what? Evo champion, get out of here, right? This guy runs it back 2 games straight with one character. And you start to doubt yourself. You say, man, is he that much better than me? What's going on? But it's not, it's that, of course he's better because he's winning, but it's not that you aren't there. It's that he's willing to make those reads and he's willing to go for it, because you have to. Like, it's a fighting. I forget that sometimes. Sometimes I think it's like math. Like, I can solve everything the same way every single time. And you can't. And that's what Sonic is so good at. He's good at keeping you on your toes, doing things outside the box. And especially in games like this where it's constant, like rock, paper, scissors, he's really good at it. I respect him a lot, like a ton. He's me and him talk. Oh, funny story. After Barak has a move that's +4 on block, right? It's the punch.
Yeah.
And when Sonic came back from Winners Finals, I was like, dude, because he mashed on Goichi after +4. And I was like, dude. And I was like, dude, what? I'm like, what were you thinking? Like, it was good, but like, what were you thinking, guys? You know what he says to me? He says, Kami, look, man, only thing I was thinking was I'm not a bitch. And I was like, there's no way. Like, this is what's going through your head.
I don't know. That's a little extreme for that shit.
He was like, I couldn't be a bitch. And I was like, what? I'm like, so clearly, I need to stop being a bitch.
I guess +4?
Dog, that will literally solve all your problems in life when you address the bitch in you and you're like, you know what? I ain't a bitch. Stop trying to bring me down, man.
That is some one-sided ass peer pressure shit. Like, are you a bitch? Will you press buttons on a +4 on block move? Like, you ain't no bitch. It's like, what?
No bitch.
I ain't got no 2-frame normal though, dog.
And I'm like, whoa, that's what it is. That's what's been separating me. I've been a bitch all this time. That's why he beat me.
Oh my god.
I was like, dude, there's no way that you were thinking like, as that's happening, like, I can't be a bitch. But I've been doing it. Like, I've been doing it online. I'm like, wow, it works. Like, sometimes you gotta not be a bitch.
Sometimes you gotta be, oh yeah, he's +5, whatever. Just
it's whatever. Dude.
Yeah, no. I kind of feel you on that though, because like sometimes, like, people vanish on me. Well, he's got to know I'm +1 here, so he's not gonna do anything. I'm like, bitch, I got 3 bars and I'm playing trunks. Why wouldn't I do something, right?
Yeah. And it goes back to the nature of the game. Like, you gotta take risks in this game sometimes, and people don't understand that. Like, some people are like, they want to be so fundamentally sound, and I'm that guy. But sometimes you gotta just, do it. You have to show people that you're not a bitch. I'm sorry. Sonic, the way he said it was just hilarious. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, guys.
You know that, dude, I've told so many people shit like that when we got into tournaments. Our friend, fuck, I feel bad about a lot of them up, but our friend Jason, fuck, what does he go by? Lightning? You go
DJ Mirror, man. DJ Mirror.
Whatever. Yeah, this dude, anyways, he's become pretty successful as of late, doing pretty well for himself. And the biggest thing that I could tell him is, you need to stop being a fucking bitch, because he would freak out when he started doing well and eat shit. And I was like, it's just the bitch in you, dog. You need to fucking fight that shit, man. He's like, quit being a bitch. And sure enough, when you could see that mental battle when he's playing the game, like, don't be a bitch, don't be a bitch. And he does the craziest shit and then fucking wins. So it's got to be a legit strategy, man.
Yeah, It's gotta be. I think, man, like I said, I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy that wants to make those types of reads. Not if I can win without making them.
Yeah.
But that one Evo, making hard reads and being better than people situationally. Like Chris G in Marvel 3, he was better than people, but his team allowed him to play in a way that was as low risk as possible. It wasn't like situationally being better. It was just constantly, how are you going to stop this? I'm so good at this. Can you stop it? Whereas in Dragon Ball, sometimes it's like the Vanish you talked about. Sometimes you're going to be +2. You're going to have level 3, and it's rock, paper, or scissors. Like, what are you going to do?
That's why I love the psychology of those kind of interactions, because I'm all like, you got to take a guy who just spent a bar to get plus frame advantage, and then he's got to abandon it if he doesn't want to get grabbed. Yeah. It's like, dude, that's like the biggest call out ever.
It's crazy.
You spent a bar to backdash.
Just the fact.
I've made people do that shit, and they're just all like I'll whiff my trunks grab, but they're just like, oh man, like, why did I even bother vanishing? Like, I don't know, man. Like, imagine if I didn't do level 3 and you got dragon rushed or something,
Exactly. Yeah, that was a good back. You better accept that you backed
like now, don't ever vanish again.
But yeah, that's what I think. I'm kind of with him, sort of, like, but not all the way. It's not something that I like doing, like making those hard reads. But sometimes, it's what it is.
Yeah. No, I imagine, and I want to shift gears a little bit here because we're going to move into another topic, but this kind of carries over where in order to be at a certain level, you have to be comfortable playing that kind of game. And I think, like, what we've been seeing from the PGRZ, the Panda Global Rankings chart, a lot of those people who are in the top, the 50s, the 40s, those are guys who are kind of on the cusp of that. A lot of Japanese players, a lot of mid-tier American players and other players there who they kind of play by the book, but they're solid with it, not really taking a ton of risk yet. And I wanted to get into that now. Obviously it's something that Panda Global's come out with recently, and I mean, I'd be surprised if you weren't on the list already, man. They haven't mentioned you yet as far as I know, but I got a feeling after your display, you're up there, man. What do you think about it?
Well, to answer your second question before the first, I'm actually 11th. I really wanted to get top 10, but I understand it's an algorithmic thing. They just announced it today.
Okay. I was at work all day, so I missed it.
They just announced it, so I'm 11th, right outside top 10. I'm sure there are a lot of people in the top 10 I've beaten in tournament, so I'm happy that I know where I'm at. But about the PG rankings in general, I'm a fan of it. I like having I'm a fan of the idea of it. Having a algorithmic mathematical way to tell who's the best. It can be a good thing, especially for people outside of the scene. On that being said, is it something that I'm going to use to like gauge myself constantly? Not really, because there's a guy just like myself who was unknown who can come and body me at any time. So I'm not going to use it. Oh, this guy isn't on the PGR or whatever. I don't have to worry about him. You can't do that. No, you can't. You definitely can't do that.
I would say this is a side better's rubric of anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will also say there are like players who are, not that too happy about this becoming a thing. And I would say to those guys, you got to understand, this is the direction that games are moving in. Mm-hmm. This is the direction that this is what we've been asking for.
Yes.
A lot of people, they say, why don't they sponsor fighting game players? Bigger pots, bigger money, more opportunities. This is the gateway to a lot of those opportunities, giving these companies and giving these outside of our locals or directly in our scene ways to understand who's good, what's going on, and how to grow. There's a player who is 49th, and he sees, I think the kill stage was 12. He sees the kill stage at 12, and it gives him just a better understanding of where he is, Mm-hmm. So not only is it good I'm not saying it's the Jesus, like it's the be all in all, like we need to follow it like law, but I am saying that for certain players, they need something like that.
It is a good talking point, honestly. Like, you know, one of the things, like, you know, you said you played a lot of sports your entire life, and one of the things that professional sports constantly has, you know, without missing a hitch, is stats and power rankings. You know, and while one didn't really come before the other, the fact that it's here now, it just can't exist. Like, sports can't exist without the rankings.
Exactly.
You know, you need a guide like this, and so for FGC and for, you know, specifically Dragon Ball, this is a great way not only to see for players to realize, you know, hey, maybe there is something to shoot for. I at least want to be at the top of my bracket, my ranking bracket. We'll see where we go from there. But also, there's a way for players, like non-players or people who are not there, or just fans, or even commentators, to like find about some people that they didn't know about. I was doing a show with Nakio on his channel yesterday, and there was a couple guys on the rank I legit never even heard of, you know.
Yeah.
And I had to tell him, I was like, dude, I don't know who this guy is. I'm not even gonna front. Y'all can say what the hell you want about me in chat. I don't give a fuck. I didn't know who this dude was, but I looked him up afterwards, and I'm like, yeah, I see him up. I can see him up there. And now my eyeballs is on him.
Dude, I could say that I know Mount Paozu Arcade definitely welcomes things like that, because it always gives us a talking point to talk about, especially if the rankings change, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I understand where, from players' perspectives, it's like, but if they get it wrong, it can affect whether or not we get visibility for X team or whatever. But in this avenue that we're going, where we're trying to make something bigger, we're gonna have to take the wins with the losses. You know,
yes,
it's gonna be more positive than it is negative. You know, and if anything, it would help create more content to talk about the game in a different way. More ways to expose more players. For instance, the PGR thing, like you said, Chris, like they have those shows where they reveal like how they feel about the rankings and stuff like that, and they bring on different people for those types of things. So that gives another platform for people like you, Chris, or No Kami, or not just specifically players and personalities, to be able to speak on their opinions and to work on their, even just being out there, period. You know, you want to be somebody that gets work or gets sponsored. It's creating just another thing for us to be able to work with. And especially for like I guess the game plan that we have here with Mount Paozu Arcade is, the more platforms that we have for these players, you know, especially since we want to push you guys and get you guys as much exposure and just help cultivate this community for everybody, is, you know, the more outlets there is, the more enjoyable, the more fruitful that this whole experience becomes.
Exactly.
And I think it's way more positive than any of the negatives that you can bring up about these types of things, man. And we just need to be able, I guess the players that have a problem with it, people that have a problem with it, really need to see the big picture about these types of things and the type of people that are involved with it, which I feel are people that have been there since day one, man. Yeah.
Well, it's like what Sonic Fox told No Kami, man. You can't be a bitch, dude. Like, some people gotta not be in the top 50. I'm sorry. You may take the game seriously, but you know, and I'm glad you do. I don't want people to stop playing because they're not on this list, but we're gonna have to hurt some feelings here. And hopefully your feelings are hurt enough where you're just like, God damn it, I don't want to be outside the rankings next month.
Let's be real. Top, like, from like 25 to 50 is like participation points, right?
Oh,
like,
you barely made it. Yes.
Yeah, it's like you showed up and there was a whack fucking pool that you were in.
Exactly. And that's no disrespect to nobody, because I know like Lord Knight's in that area, and I'm like, Lord Knight is definitely good. Like, the Lord Knight is definitely good. Nothing against him, but I'm like, dude, I know that he can get into like the top 20. I know he can do that. And so him not being in top 20 is like, well, I gotta be in top 20 next month, man. This is BS.
Funny story about him, not to go too far. He's actually my training partner. I actually bounce a lot of ideas off that guy. We talk a lot. I think he's gonna be really strong real soon. And he's playing Ginyu. So
I heard the Ginyu's the cheap stuff. Shit.
Yeah, that's the cheap. That's darkness. In anime, we call it darkness. That's the thing. Ginyu is darkness. Like,
oh no!
Like Cell, Kid Buu, they were like darkness. Like Like Bardock, he was like shadow possession jutsu. He was just you can't see nothing.
Wow.
He was like solar eclipse. Like that was pre-patch
The
Bardock.
freaking Muso Tensei.
Yeah, he was what is it called? Berserk. When freaking Griffith. I forgot the nice.
What was it like? The eclipse.
The eclipse. Yeah, that's Bardock.
Damn, dude.
But like, yeah, the PGR thing. Like, I'm personally, I don't want to. I think using the words "I don't care" is not what I'm trying to get across. I think it's a cool thing. I like it. It's great for the scene. All the points you guys made, I agree with. But I just think as players, don't, guys, if you're worried about that, like, don't worry. If your biggest goal is like, I gotta get higher on the PGR, you need to just take things one day at a time. Focus on the player you're gonna play and beat them, and the time will come. I mean, the results will speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about it. I'm not gonna be scout. Like, I'm not gonna be going to tournaments like, man, I gotta get top 8 or I'm gonna fall on the PGR. Like, I'm going to be thinking, I gotta get top 8 because I want to be the best. That list don't let that list define you. Like, it's analytics. It's not. It's completely algorithmic. Like, no, there's no player panel. At least not yet. There's no player panel or nothing like that. So just accept it and work. Just keep working at your game. Like,
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot.
Also, like, speaking on creating more platforms, like the whole BCF thing or getting shut down for having Dragon Ball on there is unfortunate too, man, because that's just another different way of showing off the game, and it was getting some clout,
Yeah.
Well, you were getting some really skilled players having really good matches in a format that, I mean, I had been advocating for years, where I was like, you know what? Like, pools are great at majors, but goddamn it, we want to see like these really good guys play these long sets, and maybe another set after that. A couple other matches, have a fight card for it, right? Yeah. And then we can go home for the evening. We can talk about what we saw, digest it, come back next month.
Yeah,
and it was working.
Saying get rid of it. You're not saying get rid of pools. That's the argument everyone has. They always say, no. They're saying get rid of pools completely. No, that's not it. Like, the pools are gonna stay. Like, without pools, like, I wouldn't be sitting here. Like, I'm a huge advocate for it, but it needs to be more things like what you're talking about, like BCF. E-League, these are good things. They're not getting rid of tournaments. They're just adding to what we get to see.
You actually made a great point. Sorry, I don't want me to cut you off, but you brought up E-League. And one of E-League's saving graces was CPT, because CPT gave them a tangible ranking system to just pull players from and to put them on a show for 3 months. And they were like, you know what? If you're in the top 32 or even on the damn list, you're probably coming to E-League at some point,
Exactly.
And that's what this list is going to do. Well, now we do it. Well, we don't have an official list, obviously. We won't have one with the World Tour because the World Tour is just 8 players, unfortunately. So the World Tour is.
What if the PGR doesn't exist? Then it's like you said.
Oh, yeah. Then we're guessing, right? Then I'm saying, hey, no Kami, do you think you want to fight Breaker Dave? And you're probably like, who the fuck is Breaker Dave, right? not that you wouldn't know who he is, but let's just say you don't know who he is.
I
understand. But with this list now, at bare minimum, if BCF was still running, or if someone else with an official promotion wanted to run the exact same show, they got 50 people to pull from. Actually, 60.
Guys, it's, I don't like. I love the FGC. These people, everyone has accepted me in the community. I haven't been here too long. A lot of people respect me. They offer me out. They support me. I love them. But a lot of times with the FGC, I'm starting to realize that, people, then a lot of times we're never satisfied. And I say that because look at Summit. Summit had a clear, all the people that got invited were clearly the strongest players at the time. They did their research, but they had 6 players that got voted in, right? A lot of people were upset with the voting, right? They were upset that certain players got voted in. Why? Because it wasn't standardized, it wasn't analytical, and it wasn't based completely on skill. The only way to quantify skill is either by having the top players tell you who's good, or having an algorithmic list. And now we have the PGR. So the people who were mad at Summit are still mad at PGR now, and it's like, come on, like you are angry at the voting, so something's here now where you won't have to vote, but you're still angry. So
yeah, I mean, like, and we're talking about just something you have to pull off an event like within the month. You know, some people are saying just have them play for spots. I'm like, you can't have everybody play for 16 spots in a month. You know,
yeah,
like there is definitely a time constraint. They had three qualifiers. Now, whether or not the fairness of those qualifiers, that's another topic entirely.
That's a completely different topic.
Yeah. Actually, speaking on that, like, I don't know about, like, I don't know the way the voting worked. I don't know if I liked it or not. I was definitely like indifferent about it.
Right.
But the way I looked at Summit was, it's its own thing. I think that's pretty much what we're getting down to, is we need to realize that that these types of things can coexist, man. Like you were saying earlier, just because we have an E-League or just because we have these other things doesn't mean that a true tournament that's run by the FGC can't happen or isn't a part of the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
And because these people are doing these types of things, obviously it's been a proven formula that the people that we need to create these players, and they come from the grassroots formula, just like you said, right? So these things have to exist cohesively, and they can. It's just, it's different, you know. And who's to know, or the way that we need to be able to work together with these new companies or these new events, so that we can come to a middle ground to do these types of things. And I guess in the past we have not been successful in that, but that's because we weren't open to that before, you know. And as time has gone on, we've been able to really get closer to achieving that. So I don't know, man, it's gonna take some time, but I definitely see it as a more positive, you know, like I said before.
Same, completely a positive. You know, we got to start somewhere.
Definitely.
I always say, like, oh, we want to be esports. So if we want to be treated more respectfully, we're trying to. That's why I go to the gym and stuff like that and do what I do. I also love it, but I want to change the perception of the gamer. I have a friend, the guy who taught me fighting games. He is the reason why I think like this, because that's his goal, is to change the perception of the video game. A lot of people, they think we're like these socially awkward people who are bad at dealing with like people. We're sore losers, etc. You know, and that's with the culture of particularly America, not really Korea or Japan, but particularly America. We just tend to have a stigma, and this goes a long way to showing that we are actually this is legit. It matters. We can go home, show our parents, like, look at this. This is sports. You have to respect this, or our peers and stuff like this. This is the road, you know. And I think this is good. It's just going to be good overall for not only just the FGC, but for the gamer. Like when you tell your peers, and I personally, I don't care, because like if your peers don't like what you do, you probably shouldn't talk to them anyway. But when you walk into a room, and you're like, yeah, I'm a professional gamer. In 2010, like, you might get laughed at, or 2000 in America. Now in 2018, you walk into a room, or a kid tells his teacher, I want to be a professional gamer, and the teacher laughs, and he shows them Ninja making 40 million or whatever, or he shows them, he says, look what Justin Wong did, you know, look at how he's been able to progress. Or maybe in a couple, look at Hell Pockets, look at Abe. You know, look at what they've done. They built a brand. Look at what
good vibes, man. Yeah, positive energy.
You know, look at what they've done. You know, so it's we gotta compromise somewhat, because I think more importantly than just having the FGC grow, you know, it's good for our lives. You're gonna have more money in your pocket. You're doing what you love, and we're not getting rid of tournaments. That's the big thing. I don't understand where that's coming from. But
well, I could tell you, but that's a long story that ain't really got much to do with Dragon Ball or fighters. And it's, yeah, you know, we go down the rabbit hole. But you're right. You know, that is something that, you know, both things can coexist, and one really only benefits the other. And like now you can go around and say, hey, yo, I'm ranked 11th in the world for Dragon Ball fighters, according to this list. You know, like, And and I was telling people that, I don't want everybody to hate it, but I do understand. I don't have an illusion that if you talk shit about the list, that means you've acknowledged it.
Yeah.
If you hate it, that means that it's gotten to you. There is some level of validity to the list, and you kind of want a piece of it. So
yeah, because if you don't care that much, and I think, because some people might get it misconstrued. You're not saying it's wrong to have an opinion about the list. That's what people always go to. They say, no. He's saying we can't have an opinion. I think it sucks. It's just meaning that it has an impact on your life if you're talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's positive for a scene. It's because it's giving us more traction. It's giving people seeing more eyes to the game. And I mean, I'm for it. So that's my final verdict. I'm for it. I'll be number 1 next year anyway. So
there we go. Come on.
Here we go. We got it officially recorded on this show. And you know what? He came through last time.
That's right. Every time you say something, I mean, he's got a plan, people.
Yeah, I'm really, we'll see, but I'm really confident again. So really excited.
So speaking of plans, though, you planning on picking up some new characters? Maybe that boy Cooler that has been, recently making the rounds across the internet.
He's really exciting and really interesting to see. Like, just from watching like you and Max's breakdown and watching the the trailer and seeing the Japanese players Moke-san play. He's really interesting. I'm gonna try him out. Those normals are ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm
big.
Definitely
They're big boy normals.
they got some size. They got some size to them. Those are some really big normals. He's different. It's gonna be hard to zone him out because of 3H. He has 6H low like Cell, which is gonna open up some mix-up opportunities. He is really, really interesting, and I want to see what people come up with. I'm gonna definitely mess around with him my first day. Right now, though, I'm definitely, speaking of other characters, I'm definitely looking into. I think this patch is good. Like, I think this patch definitely opened up a lot of the character roster, and having Cooler come into that is gonna throw even more depth and interesting things to the scene. The scene of the game itself. But he's cool, man. He's really cool. Like, he's different.
I forgot to bring it up at the beginning of the show, but I was gonna introduce Hell Pockets as Bandai Namco's own VIP. This dude gotta put some actual hands on the character.
Yeah.
What do you think about him?
So me and Max did the breakdown at Bandai Namco, and I want to say shout out to Bandai Namco for finally letting us do like an 8-minute breakdown. That was awesome. Next time, let's go for 10. Just kidding. Shout out to Dimitri. I think he's not necessarily like I don't think he's like breath of fresh air different, but I think he's like, different in a way where he's gonna work around a lot of what we thought was conventional Dragon Ball fighters, One of the biggest things that happened after the videos came out was people were asking me, what's the point of him having a level 3 that's a counter when all level 3s are already invulnerable and basically counters in their own right? And I linked that video of Kubo DPing Reynolds Gotenks level 3 and then beating it. And I'm like, that's why it's a fucking counter, because the DP is going to get eaten up by that,
Yeah.
Like, counters definitely work differently than invulnerable reversals. And so far, he's the only guy with that as a level 3. That alone means people who thought they had safe pressure don't have safe pressure anymore,
Yeah. It's like the Hakan thing. Like, Infiltration beat PR Balrog with Ultra 2, No one was expecting Ultra 2. Like, it's going to open up new, you got to change around it. A lot of people don't, just like you said, they don't quite understand. But I think it's not like he can't level 3 you. Like, the air level 3, he can do it on offense. So it's like, it's not like it's only a counter. That might be pretty crappy, but like, man, dude, what do you think about like his low? You got hands on it. The full screen low projectile thing?
So his low is interesting because it's a full screen low. Obviously, it's a special move, but that's it. Like, it's just a special. So it's like a full screen poke. That's a low. You're basically meant to vanish it, or I guess maybe call an assist that will give you the extra time to do chase afterwards.
Can you do it from the air?
No, you cannot do it from the air. So
Yeah,
oh, dude, you kidding me, man? Just like bam, you're block low, baby.
I'm all about the cheap stuff. That's why
dude, I was telling him, man. I was straight up telling him, dude, why is this not his assist?
Yeah, that would be
so, yeah, that would be
or
some. Do you know what that would be? That would be some straight up Rose Garden stuff, man. Like freaking Dormammu shit.
Yeah.
Like, that would be so tight.
Yeah.
But they weren't gonna do that for him. So they gave him like this full screen low. It's cool. I don't know how it's gonna fit in the flow of match play. I imagine you're gonna cover it with an assist and then either vanish or call another assist to confirm off of it. But it's something interesting that he has that no one else has. So that's already an aspect of him that could be leaps and bounds above other players, other characters. You also have the fact that he has like a dive kick that's an overhead. He's got foot dive, man.
It's an overhead. Yeah. That's crazy.
Shit.
And the EX version does true hard knockdown.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So that like is oof. That's already strong. Max is really going off about how he gets real hard knockdown off an EX dive kick, and I'm just like, I don't know why they keep.
Interesting.
I don't know why they keep giving that to characters because I know they're just going to take it away in a patch. They're going to be like, well, we didn't mean to put that in there. Sorry, guys.
The low thing you brought up, Potemkin in Guilty Gear, he has Sleight Head, and that move kind of gives me vibes of Sleight Head, where no, it's not going to be something you see constantly, but it's a threat. It could happen. And just having a threat, it's like 21, like her 3M. It's like just her having that is like really good. It might not be used all the time, but just having it is better than not having it.
Totally. And what else was he working with? He got the DP. He's basically got Vegeta's DP.
So it's actually a DP. It's
actually the medium version is full body invul. You have to hit a button to do the follow-up, but the cool thing about it is that it starts working like Tension Han's volleyball setup there, or if you hit light, knocks them back the other way. If he hits medium, they fall forward, and if he hits EX, he goes into a whole string of attacks that ends in dive kick, and then you can follow up with level 3 or a DH or a DHC or something like that. So it's pretty versatile. Obviously the EX version does the most damage, and you can mix and match that version also. But not a lot of characters in this game have DP, so the fact that they gave us a big body character, got big normals, got a dive kick that's a hard knockdown, and a DP, like wow! And his level 3 is both a counter and a command grab.
He's got the what's good, homie DP.
Did I catch you pressing a button?
Oh, you thought you had pressure? No.
Like I wish they gave him a standing grab because I was like, man, like a freaking grappler with a DP is
that'd
like
be crazy. You asking for too much. You asking for too much.
I'm telling you, man.
That'd be crazy.
Like the only saving grace is that even if you TK the level 3, it won't grab crouchers. It'll grab standing characters, but not crouchers. So you got to crouch take it basically.
Yeah.
But if you catch them standing up, dude, like they're gonna feel dumb as hell.
He's interesting, man. I didn't know that was a full DP. That's good. That's really good. DP assist is like one of the strongest things in this game. So him just having that, he's interesting. I wonder how fast the dive, because it's okay. Let me just ask you, there. Is the dive kick? You know how Goku Black's dive kick is, how fast it is. Is it faster or slower than that?
It is slower. Unfortunately, I was having a little bit of issues comboing into it. Sorry, but and the trade-off being that the angle is totally different than Goku Black's, where his is like like cruising down coast to coast.
Yeah.
His is more like straight down like that. So it's gonna, and I think depending on the strength of the button you press, you get different angles. But once it's active, it comes out super fast. But the startup for it is like, whoa, like it is definitely like more mix-up potential than it is combo fodder. I think EX might be chainable, obviously, because it's the fastest, and you can probably get that off a wall bounce or something like that. But
I'm thinking it might be good for mix-up since they clearly made it an overhead. No one else's dive kick is an overhead.
Right. So, I mean, I imagine if you get some like you throw some maybe with a smoke screen assist, like Majin Buu. Throw out there with the Majin Buu assist, and maybe you throw out a 2M, you go right into EX, like dive kick, there's a chance they might miss that entirely,
Yeah, he's interesting. You got me kind of wanting to play him. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it is a cool character. I think one of the probably the best thing about him is his jump 2H and how it has great synergy with his jump M, because both come out super low to the ground. Once that jump M hits, it's almost guaranteed 98% that the jump 2H is going to hit afterwards from any range. It never whiffs. It's ridiculous. I almost thought it was glitched at a certain point, because I was like, man, like, I know the jump M isn't vacuuming. I know it's not pushing him forward. It's definitely pushing him back. And yet this jump 2H still just zooms right in on the guy, and it does a wall bounce because it's horizontal. And I mean, if you're in the corner, you don't have to even use the chase. You get a nice, loop combo in the corner. If you're mid screen, you get a chase in the air. It's great stuff, That's great for like the post level 3 mix up being like, because one of the worst things about him is that mostly all of his supers will push the opponent to mid screen. So they're basically all like Goku's level 3, where it's like, if you don't pick the right side, you're definitely going to lose your corner pressure. But because of that mechanic working for him, he can definitely do things like IAD cross up M into jump 2H and to push you back into the corner for more damage. He can choose sides on that way. He can either do left side or right side. So he's still a little more than just a big body,
Yeah. I'm really interested. A lot of times these characters come out and they don't have a 2L low, and people immediately are like, this character's trash.
Oh, yeah.
Like, look at Vegito. Vegito is really strong.
Vegito's like, I just need to touch you. That's all I need.
That's it. Vegito's like, I just need to get you to block, dog. That's all I'm here. So yeah.
Go ahead, Kami.
No, I was just gonna say Vegito. He's good. That was it.
So I got one more question for you, Chris, in regards to that trip that you made. But before we move on, I want to remind the viewers that we got a question section in the Mount Paozu Arcade Discord, and we would love for you guys to send us your questions that way. We're getting towards the end of this podcast. And yeah, man, go ahead and fill up that section with what you want to ask Kami, because you know what? Whatever he answers apparently comes true. So if you want to see some lofty predictions or whatever, please ask away. Anyways, my question to you, Chris, since you were able to go over there. All right, man, big boy question here. What's up, bro? Is the leak list legit? What are you gonna tell us? Oh
shit!
Man?
Oh my god!
Where's 17, bro? Is it gonna happen? What's up?
I don't know, man. All they had for me was cool. All they had for me was cooler over there. I can't say. I will say that so far the leak list that we've gotten has been 100% spot on. Yeah. A lot of that had to do with the fact that it was data mined. So at first, to believe the data mine, we couldn't. The surprise is already out. It's already been out there, more or less, But I did not see any other character other than Cooler, so I can't confirm anything. It's unfortunate. There is another character coming though at the end of September with Cooler. He just wasn't. He or she was just not available there. Was not available at the test that we played at. So they told us that someone else is coming. They just didn't say who. And we asked them if it's got something to do with the leak list, and they definitely said, we're not allowed to talk about that because it's unofficial business.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm excited because that means we get to come back in September and try it again. Hopefully my cooler is better by then, because me and Max were like running cooler mirrors, and I'm just like, dude, it's actually kind of fun. I've never played Max like ever, and I'm like, dude, I think he should come on the Goon channel.
So do you guys think that it's going to be the same model that they already have in the game, or is it going to be a super version of 17?
If he is in the game, it's definitely going to be super version. I think Ranger 17 is literally, I think Goku Black / Zamasu and Ranger 17 is like everyone's favorite characters from Super. Like, he's the MVP.
Yeah,
he's like Kevin Durant before he left. Like, everyone loves that.
Wow.
Hey,
we like him pretty okay over here.
Oh, I bet.
I was gonna say, like, I would like to see like a new model just for that character. not just a reskin of what is already the assist character for Android 18 with Ranger clothes on, but at the same time, if they did that, they would be proving that custom costumes are a possible thing in Dragon Ball Fighters.
Dude, we talked about this already, though. There's no such thing as custom costumes. You get a whole new character.
Yeah.
like if it was a costume that he was wearing in a certain point in time in the show, that's just gonna be a completely different character.
I agree. But if they used the model and just put like, you know, the new skin on it, I'd be like, wow. Because the reason why I say they can't use the same model is because Android 17 is actually like as an assist to 18 is just 18 with, you know, 17 clothes on. The height's the same. They're actually supposed to be different heights. So you can tell that it's like, oh, he's literally just Android 18 skeleton with 17 clothes on, which kind of already proves the point of custom, you know, attire anyway. But if it's like the exact same skeleton, the same moveset and everything with just Ranger clothes on, they definitely are going to have to come with some alternate costumes in season 2, I would imagine.
So Chris, it doesn't prove the custom thing. You're gonna have to eat shit on that. Anyways,
no, they would definitely
get out of here.
It would be proven that they'd be willing to do it, that they could do it. What are you talking about?
No, of course they could do it. Are they gonna do it? No.
No, I'm not saying they're gonna. They would definitely be assholes for not doing it. Those.
They've never been down to do it. They'll give you every excuse to not do it. But again, back to the topic of 17. If they do give you that version that they have in the game right now, I'm pretty sure people will lose their shit.
Oh, definitely, man. Like they're gonna want to have like they're not even gonna want to know what his moveset is. They're not even gonna be able to tell what his moveset is because that guy came out with so much firepower in the battle I want to say Summon of Power in the Tournament of Power. You know that this guy could have quite the most impressive repertoire that we've seen in the game yet.
I'm telling you guys, if 17 is good, if he's in the game, which he had better be in the game. He's my favorite. Him and Zamasu are my favorite characters. I was disappointed with Zamasu. You know, Sonic keeps saying he's good. Sonic keeps saying he's S tier. I mean, there are only 2 Zamasu players in the world. He can't be that good if there are only me and Sonic playing him, right? So me and Sonic, we argue about that a lot. But that's my boy. He's still my boy. But if 17's in the game and he's good, and
you're taking the belt,
and he's good, I'm clearly gonna be the best. Dude, I'm buying a shirt. I'm buying a red ribbon shirt. you know, I'm not. It ain't gonna be Sonic. It ain't gonna be Goichi. No Sage. No Kubo. No Kazunoko. They can forget about it. They can forget. I can. Guys.
So you're already planting the flag right now. You are number 1.
I am
not even number 117 in number 117 worldwide.
I'm telling you guys. You know, I'm telling. This is gonna be a meme. You know, it's funny because a New York player, Nico Maki, he proclaimed that he was the best Zamasu before we even saw the character, and we clowned him for it. But it's okay. I'm better than him, so it's okay. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna be the best if he's good. If he's good. And then you know what's gonna happen? Sonic's gonna clip this. He's gonna beat me in tournament, and he's gonna run this for hours. But that's my favorite. I'm gonna put so much time into the character. I really hope he's strong. I really, really hope he's strong. So,
I wonder if we're gonna have the equivalent of kind of what Tokido has with his Akuma character, where they don't want to nerf the character because it's like, we all love Tokido though. Like, we don't want to shit on this character. Like, let's give our boy a shot. You know what I mean? Like, what? I guess we need a little bit more time to go with the scene to be like, you know what, man? We like this no Kami dude. Let's buff it a little bit. See what he's got. Let's give him a real shot. Let's see. What
what they're gonna do is they're gonna buff Goku Black. You're gonna be like, shit, that's not the buff I wanted.
I actually thought he was gonna get guys. I wanted Zamasu. I don't, like I said, me and Sonic argue about it. We're never probably gonna see eye to eye on Zamasu, but like I can say he's 1, I'm 2. You know, I'm cool with that. But like, I really wanted them to buff that character a different way than they did, and it like hurt me. So like that's why like I'm hoping that they do me a solid and they freaking make 17 good. He don't have to be Bardock. He don't have to be Solar Eclipse Darkness. Just make him like, you know, Shadow in your backyard. Like, I'm cool with that. If he's just cheap enough, you know. He's so cool, guys. I really like that character. Everyone does. So if he's in, I'm gonna put a lot of time into it.
What's one move that he has to have?
Oh, he has to probably have the what he do? It's what he did in the Tournament of Power, like the plasma beams where he shot them all around Goku and Frieza to get the Jiren. He has to have that. They're gonna give him. He has to have some sort of barrier. Probably they're gonna give him a barrier. Honestly, for him to be good though, he needs a move that probably propels him forward, like Bardock, because he's probably not gonna be like a character like Broly, who like really good, like a good neutral, or a character like 21 that's like really good neutral. He's probably gonna be a character that's like more in your face. So I'm really interested to see what they do with him. I'm super excited. I can't wait for Cooler and our unknown character.
I mean, I hope everybody gets what they want here. Because, like I said, you know, I have no idea. And considering some of the other spoilers that dropped with Dragon Ball related games that week, it could be anybody, man.
You're right.
Like after that shit that dropped in Xenoverse, I was like, yo, what the?
You know, I'm kind of tight. I hope that didn't ruin the movie.
I'm not even allowed to talk about that either. There was people there's legit that are people heated that got data mined. I'm like, why the hell would you put it in the damn game if you didn't want to get data mined?
Yeah, dude, that was, man. I hope our hopes are right. I hope what we have now is right.
Yeah,
because I want 17 in the game. That's it. I really want them. Really want them.
I know some people hope it's freaking Master Roshi. That'd be also kind of
that'd be cool. But like, is it gonna be manga Roshi or anime Roshi? Because manga Roshi is like doing freaking Ultra Instinct and all types.
Oh man, no.
Like, we don't want him, dude. He gonna be top tier. Like, we don't need him. We don't need him in the game.
I'm waiting to see how that is. I want to see like Jiren just be like, I was only 5% of my power, and Roshi's like, I know, you idiot.
Roshi's like,
knock me off the edge already.
I actually got clowned so hard at Evo because after you're done with top 8, you know, you get your earnings or whatever. You know, by the way, they handled that really well. Shouts to them. And while you're up there, you can see the big screen, and the producer for Dragon Ball comes out, and I'm like, yes. I'm like, this is what I've been waiting for. They're gonna show them, and they show Cooler, and the Cooler trailer is mad hype, right? So I'm sitting there screaming. Sonic actually recorded it on his phone. I begged him not to post it. I'm sitting there screaming my lungs out. Look, think about me, 6 foot, 230-pound guy jumping up and down. I'm screaming, and when the screen goes black, I'm like, they're gonna show 17. I'm like, here we go. I'm like, oh my god, he's coming, right? And they don't show him. They
straight up verbatim said, "Good night, everybody."
And I was like, no. I was like, come on, like, this is why I was so upset. I was mad. I was like, man, I gotta take a walk. Like, they got me. They really got me.
Should like, I'll give you my top 8 winnings to see that trailer real quick.
Just take me in the back, man. Take me in the back. Take the money.
Dude, that's funny, man. Because me and Chris were basically got thrown into the whole like, well, if Cooler's in the game, what the fuck does that mean for the rest of the cast in the future?
Real talk.
We're about to get a bunch of movie characters. Like, is it open season on anybody now?
Is Janempa coming? That's the
so that's that season 2 rumor list, which ain't been data mined, but it's definitely people talking about it. But you can make a good case for characters like Gogeta, Janemba, you know, you could have
Tapion.
Tapion. You could have Omega Shenron and Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta and Goku, and you know they're gonna throw 2 more Gokus and Vegetas.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely gonna be a Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta.
They already got
Kefla.
Kefla. Oh, she's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for her.
Yeah, dude.
Her, Jiren. We didn't even talk about the grand freaking guy. Oh, Ultra Instinct Goku's gonna come. By the way, apparently he's really cheap in Xenoverse. Apparently, some people.
Oh yeah, no, he's ridiculous. Supposedly there's a one shot with him, and there's a one shot with Kefla, and that game is.
Supposedly he just like dodges all your moves, and you can't hit him.
You just remain in neutral, and it's like, oh, you can't do anything. Can you?
I'm trying to play. They need to bring that version over.
You're right. You like catch me when I'm hitting the button. Counter hits only.
Yeah, but guys, I'm so excited for the final character and for season 2 if we have one.
I hope so too. I mean, every Dragon Ball game that I've seen that comes out, even before it gets a sequel, gets a season 2. So I can't imagine that with the success of Dragon Ball Fighters, with a world tour in full swing right now, that's about to happen. Apparently, we didn't even talk about that, but freaking the next Saga event is about to go down. Everybody's in France right now in that destroyed Coliseum, and and yeah, man, like somebody's gonna get a Dragon Ball.
So they got to fight in the Coliseum. For the
dude. But hold on to that shit. That place looks like somebody got robbed in there a couple times.
Hey, and then the Panda Globalist probably just knocked out people's mental state. It's over for those guys.
Oh,
like,
can you imagine?
Top 10? Fuck! This is fucking with me, man. I'm in France.
I flew out here and I'm not even in the top 10. Like,
I'll tell you guys what, France got some killers, man.
They do.
Oh, so that's another good point. Going back to the PGR thing, I know that Europe was a little tight about not having as much representation on it, and I get it. Some people were arguing that, hey, the events out in your EU just have not been as banging as, the events all across the rest of the world, like maybe the turnout wasn't big enough, or maybe the notoriety wasn't large enough. Like the big tournaments, obviously we knew, like Stunfest. We all knew about Stunfest, we all knew about VS Fight. So it's not entirely out of the question that they can't run these big AAA brand events, but they just haven't had as many to I guess end up on this list yet. But that could change because obviously they've got a Saga event coming up tomorrow.
Yep.
And by next month we could have a completely new top 40.
Yep. I think first of all, it sucks for those guys that they feel that way. The way they feel is how I felt, especially during some of the power qualifiers, like with it being in Cal. Like we said, that's a topic for a different day. But I'm in North Carolina and I don't have a scene. I am the furthest person away from me I can play offline. It's 3.5 hours. I drive 3.5 hours to my monthly when I can go. So like you feel shafted. Like sometimes I can kind of understand why they feel like that. Because they just don't have some of the representation. I know because I'm that guy. But I feel like on the flip side too, it's clearly stated, like it has to be X amount of players for it to be considered this. Europe's not a small place. Get those players there. Get those players to these tournaments.
Absolutely.
So I think I can see it from both sides. But yeah, France got some killers, y'all.
Oh, for sure, man. You got freaking Alioun, man, throwing up the tech to everybody.
Man, Alioun, it's you gotta understand. Alioun has freaking children. He got Jiren? Yeah, he has freaking. It's the spawn of Alioun. Is what y'all are. He has some really powerful players in France. I got to play them. Alioun invited me to his room at Evo. Shouts to Alioun. Met that guy. Great guy. Guy. Always been a bigger fan of his now. I'm a huge supporter of him. But got to play, and those guys are good, man. Any one of those guys could have made top 16 or top 32. I'm not even capping. Those guys, I'm really interested to see what they do in France and how, if they take this anger and they like use it and they use it in the tournament, or if they just let it upset them. Because like seeing those players, imagine they get a big win versus I know Hook Gang God's there, or they get a big win versus I think Koichi's there.
Koichi's there, Apology Man.
Apology Man. Imagine if they get a big win. Then they can say, look at us, respect us, right? But if we just complain and then lose, that's gonna look bad. It's gonna look real bad if they do that.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm interested.
Yeah, man. Definitely finally getting to see a lot of highlights for different regions. I know Mexico is going to be having an opportunity to show what they got as well, which is a region that is their
I know.
fandom at least has
it's
been
gigantic.
pretty huge.
Apparently, Abe, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Apparently, there's an epidemic of Broly. And
Oh yeah, I heard about that, man. We're gonna find out at Thunderstruck.
there's a Broly epidemic in Mexico. So I want to see. Show me the legendary
It'd be
superstar.
like Hombre Grande, huh?
Yeah, man. It would just be so fitting to have some real Mexican representation, just cause, especially for me growing up, man, it's like it's big over there, dude. Like really
Huge.
fucking big.
It's huge.
I mean, they got taco spots named after Goku and fucking Piccolo and shit. So
They shut down traffic in a downtown city to watch Tournament of Power, like Goku versus Jiren, right?
oh, I didn't
Like,
know
that was a-
That's
like, that was
fucking
like
cool
a-
if they did that.
I think they did that. Yeah, either was there or somewhere in South America. But I think they did one of those in Mexico also.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, man, no, there's definitely room for them to come up as well, and we all know that Mexico can throw down, especially in a high offensive game. Like that is their shit.
I'm super excited. There's a good chance I'm gonna be at Thunderstruck as well.
All right.
Hell
So
yeah,
I'm
man.
I want to meet these Broly players. I want to meet them right the same way Vegeta met them in the movie trailer. I'm trying to meet them like that. So I'm really interested to see what they do.
You gotta roll up there like Napa though. Be like, hey, look around, just like
Quick story. You guys know? Do you guys remember? Someone just showed me this. Nappa's actually the good guy. Like, there's a old episode when they go on a planet, him and Vegeta.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The
Yeah,
bug
and-
planet.
Yeah, and freaking Vegeta and Nappa's like, yeah, we're gonna use the Dragon Balls to revive Raditz, right, Vegeta? And Vegeta's like, no, I'm just gonna be immortal. I'm like, dude, you're evil. You're mad evil.
Nah, fuck that bitch.
I'm like, dang. He's
Hey
like,
man,
no.
he was telling Nappa, you can't be a bitch, man. You
Yeah,
want
right,
immortality, or you want to revive that whack ass Raditz?
That whack ass low class thing.
Yeah.
Vegeta, man, he was like, dude, this whole little fight with these Earthlings really made me realize that I was rolling with a bunch of bitches. And you know what? I do not tolerate that shit. As the Princess Saiyans, you got to go by any means necessary.
He's so evil. I went back and watched the Saiyan Saga because I was getting hyped for base Vegeta. And I was like, yo, I can't play this guy. This guy is going to corrupt me.
Yeah, all right.
I'm going to walk in a room. I'm going to see a Goku player and be like, a little class. I don't want to do that.
It's gonna be like a high sedity ass diva about it. Like, I don't know. I gotta cut some of you guys out of my life.
Yeah, like
You're dragging me down.
A Kakarot player is going to ask me to play casuals. I'm going to be like, no. Like, I will never play casuals.
I want to
So-
see the episode where this dude goes back to wherever he goes and then talks to one of his homies. He's like, and can you believe that this motherfucker busted out? Oh, I don't even know what the fuck a Kaioken is, but this motherfucker, I was about to get him, and then he just fucking exploded on my ass. Can you believe that shit? And I had to go fucking full ape. That shit didn't even work because he's got a bunch of little homies hiding in the rocks. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Y'all know what's crazy? Yajirobe never did anything else in the rest of Dragon Ball besides cut off Vegeta's tail. I was tight. I just watched
that
it.
shit was clutch though.
It was mad clutch. They were getting
Clutch.
bodied. They were getting bodied, dude.
I mean-
Krillin's a real one too. He was like, Goku, we're gonna kill him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was with him. I was like, yo, this guy is too.
Get him out of here.
I was like, he has to go. Goku, being the good guy, saves him. So
That was actually in
You know what?
Japanese. That's a
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
ass speech. In Japanese, that's a nice ass speech.
It's actually kind of contrasting from like the English to Japanese, because doesn't he say in the Japanese one where he's like, he's kind of Goku's more selfish about like, I just want to fight this dude again.
Yeah, he said
That's
it would have
the
been
only
it would have been a
reason?
waste. It would have been a waste. I want to fight him again.
And
wow.
in the other one, he's like, no, bro, he's the last brother I got.
He's like, also, we'd be no better than him if we did that. And I'm like, nah, man, we definitely ain't no better than him.
Goku did not give a fuck about his race. He was like, hey, so I like to catch these matches, against other good ass fighters. And you guys are all really low level now. It's just not fun for me anymore. Like Krillin, let's be real. Like,
Oh
when's the
my
last
god!
time that
And at
showed
that,
up?
and at
You know?
that moment, Goku left his local community behind.
Oh yeah. He definitely.
He definitely went esports at that point. He was
Yeah,
like,
he
"Nah,
really
man,
is.
I'm gonna play
Only-
these top players, y'all. I might roll around a couple times for casuals, but I'll see y'all at Evo, man.
I only go to E League and Evo. Like that's it.
It's
Like,
Evo Namek, dude. I'll see you at
Locals?
Evo Namek."
locals, what?
Hey, he did the same thing in Super. Like they get to the freaking Tournament of Power, and no, he proposed the Tournament of Power, and freaking Topo's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" He's like, "You're evil, bro. You gotta get us all our universes erased." And Goku's like, "I just want to fight the strongest guy." He's a cornball, man. I couldn't believe that. They should have erased him.
Nah, man, they was all trying to hide under them rocks. Well, the thing was, like, at the end of it, they were still gonna get erased one way or the other, because like
That's true, yeah.
Zeno was like, "Man, I'm tired of seeing all these universes clouding my view."
Okay, well, hold on, we're forgetting the big one. This is the guy that gave Cell a sensu bean.
Oh my
Yo,
god,
man.
man.
Yo, you know what that is? That is Goku letting Cell like pause the match and be like, nah, we'll just run top, baby.
Nah, that's why Cell keeps surviving. That's why he's still top tier. Goku keep giving him sensu beans. I can't believe that, bro. That's like your son steps in the ring with Brock Lesnar, and you like give Brock Lesnar
Gave him a
like,
massage real quick, like, "You got him, Brock. Come on."
you give Brock Lesnar a sword or something. Like, why would you do that? I'm not a fan. You'll never see me play Goku. Not every time I go to pick him, I'm like, this is the guy who
Scumbag.
Fucking
Scumbag Goku, man.
Hey, man, Gohan may never went Super Saiyan 2 otherwise. So anyway, we gotta save that for another conversation though, because we can go on this all night.
Yeah.
But we got some questions here, I think, right? People have been waiting for the questions to get answered.
Mister
what? We got questions.
Super producer, Gibby.
Manchest.
What?
Manchest. What's up, man? What you got for us, bro?
I think I got some questions for you guys. Hold on.
Okay.
Also, I hope the last character is Roshi.
That's what I'm saying. I know people would think that they want Roshi, and I kind of want a Gogeta. It doesn't matter which one at this point.
All right, let's see. Oh man, the first question isn't even a question. He says the Hound says he just wants to tell Kami it was a pleasure seeing him kick Reynolds' ass in that first of 5.
Yeah, he was there.
He was commentating it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Me and him were commentating. Yeah.
Damn.
All
Hey,
right.
man, you gonna set Randall loose on me, man.
He's like, Reynolds just woke up. Reynolds just sat up in his bed like the Undertaker. He was like, "What?"
Yeah.
No, but Reynolds, I'm pretty sure Reynolds like sat up in his bed, and then the chainmail just magnetically came to his head. He's like,
He's
"Oh,
just
what?
like
Someone talking
turned
shit."
to his wife, "Holler if you hear me, baby."
All right. First actual question comes from Rod CU. Says season 1 is coming to an end. What changes will you like to see in season 2 besides new characters, netcodes, damage buffs, etc.?
The biggest change, the number one change that I really want to see change is tags. Tags, they should not be. I don't feel like they should be safe on block. Oh well, not even safe. They shouldn't. You shouldn't be able to tag this freely. It really ruins risk return values. And the game is already volatile enough. Like you're looking for guard cancel, reflect, supers, vanish. Now we have to look for tags, and are fundamentally not sound. In every other versus game, if you tag, you're unsafe. And I'm not saying they have to be unsafe, but maybe they should take longer or give the player bigger cues. I want to see something done with raw tags. Blue Life. The reason Dragon Ball takes so long is because Blue Life is ridiculous. So I think they need to do something with tags and with Blue Life. And those are pretty much the most realistic things I can say right now. Of course, everyone says like Super Dash needs to be addressed, but I think Super Dash is fine. I think it needs to be in the game. Otherwise, the game is gonna be really oppressive. Like, how are you beating 21 without Super Dash? Never. Like, you're never gonna get in on her. So I really want to just see those two things change right now, and then like we build from there. I thought they were gonna address raw tags with this patch, but they didn't. So I'm interested to see if they like that and they want to keep that, or if it's just something they're feeling out some more. Other than that, nothing else really really to in the immediate, there's nothing else I think is really bad or that needs to be changed. Blue Life and Raw Tags. Dragon Ball will be much faster if they address Blue Life. It comes back so fast. Like I flip a coin and half his Blue Life is back. I'm like,
Damn.
yo, like, what happened, bro? So,
I would
yeah.
actually like to see more of a flip between raw tag and guard cancel tag in terms of viability and safety. I think raw tag should be unsafe, and no versus or tagging game I've ever played was a raw tag ever a good idea unless you
I
had the
agree.
perfect setup for it.
Same.
At the same time, guard cancel tag is supposed to get you out of a bad situation. It should be more effective in doing that, I feel. I don't think it's that bad now, but I also think that there's way too many instances where you thought you had it, and it just, because of the way it works, it doesn't keep your opponent frozen the entire time.
Right.
They give them a chance to block it, and they don't really bait it that way. They just happen to recover from whatever they were doing and punish it. You know,
I think if they do that, they need to put a bigger meter penalty on guard cancel, because I don't want people guard canceling constantly. The game, that's not going to be fun to watch.
No.
But I definitely like what you propose. If raw tags are unsafe but guard cancel isn't, there's more of a counterplay to guard cancel. You know, you can look for it, you can build strings against it. With raw tag, you're looking for an X, or sometimes the X doesn't even appear. Sometimes if you're not in proxy guard, they just tag. And it's the super dash is a different angle than a normal super dash. So like, you might be looking here for the super dash here, and it comes from over there or down here. So if they don't change raw tags themselves, make them not super dashes, make them actual raw tags.
Like flying attack or something, right?
Yes, because like getting a combo from a tag, that's crazy. You know, Broly can kill you from a raw tag. That's like Cell can kill you. That's crazy. It's nuts. So those are the big things. You make a good point, though. I would like that. I think guard cancel is good. I think it's really good. You can even get a combo into set play from it, but it's not as viable against a lot of different. It's not as viable as it probably should be. So,
Abe, you got anything or?
Actually, what you said, yeah, I agree with it too. I think, what both you said about it being more, because when you play certain characters, it's like it's almost probably like 90% a bad time to use guard cancel, right? You know, because you're gonna go into a fucking combo if you
you're gonna get beat up, and you're like, "Where's my invulnerability?"
You have to have very choice situations when you do it, and then you could get away with it. But
your opponent could also just never give it to you. Like Goichi is a master of just not giving you that moment, but keeping the pressure.
Right.
It's like you can get read out of it a lot, so that makes it a bad decision sometimes. Like, I guess fundamentally it should be able to be more successful, but when you put the whole mindset of how many options you know that the person has, like, you know, the person can literally only guard cancel this, it's like, what the fuck you think is gonna happen, you know? Like, but yeah, I think I like somewhere in the middle between what you guys were saying.
All right. Next question is from the Hound. This is for Nokami specifically, saying, how do you feel about the future of Zamasu? Does the current meta not support his game plan?
I feel like Zamasu has some clear strengths, but the way the game is played right now, there are characters that do what he does or wants to do better. I think Flight is really strong, but it's strong at moving away, but it's not really strong at generating offense. You have a character who can think about Magneto, because I feel like despite people saying he's not Magneto, they took a lot of cues from Magneto. With Magneto, he was faster than everyone. He had a projectile that covered him, and he did a ton of damage, right? With Zamasu, he can't block. He can block during flight, but he's missing all those things that make flight good. You know, he can't do normals out of it, which is fine, and he can't. His option set, his core option set, when in regards to engaging the opponent and stopping super dash, is pretty weak. I think he's not a trash character. Like, I thought he was trash pre-patch. I thought he was terrible. I bet people are like, why are you still playing him? Because he's my favorite. my favorite character. But I thought he was really bad pre-patch. He didn't have a block string. All his block strings could be reflected, but they fixed that. Right now, if a player can find a team composition that deals with Super Dash and allows him to move freely, then he could possibly be very strong. But as of right now, I personally don't think he's the strongest character. Not to say he's weak. Like Beerus isn't the strongest. Beerus is kind of garbage. But I don't think Zamasu's garbage, but he's definitely not top of the meta. Like I wouldn't say people are saying he's like A plus. I would even say he's A, just A. I personally, I think Goku Black is think about it this way, guys. Anyone wondering about Zamasu? Zamasu and Goku Black literally have the same exact moves. They're just different. But Goku Black's are better. His Ki Blast is Zamasu's Fireball, but faster, recovers faster, and he can 2H after it. Zamasu's has a ton of recovery, a poor angle, and you can't. It's just a lot wrong with it. His Zamasu's God Slicer is just worse Goku Black's God Slicer, you know? So, and then people say, but he has mobility. Like Goku Black has a teleport, you know? It doesn't get more mobile than that.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, it's an instant movement.
Yeah. So I feel like Zamins are like slowing the game down, but we are playing a game and against this is gonna be a Ginyu meta. It's gonna be a Ginyu, Gotenks, 16 Bardock meta. Those are the characters you're gonna see a ton. Adult Gohan, maybe some Cell, but those are the characters we're gonna see running the meta, or you're gonna see in top 8. All of those characters, Ginyu, Gotenks, 16, they all do extremely well against him, and they really attack his weaknesses. You know, what is the monster gonna do versus Ginyu? Nothing. He's gonna fly and get hit. You know, so I really feel like they should adjust some things regarding his toolkit, make orbs more viable. A lot of people believe that orbs are like this super strong mix-up thing. I disagree. You know, they can to each their own and to how you use it, but I think they should definitely change his Blades of Judgment and make them doable with all assists, or they should make the orbs not go away on block or beam property, and you immediately have a character who is like good, but okay, and he's like really good. Because like despite what everyone says, you know, he's a good character, this and this and this. The only two Zamasu players are me and Sonic. That's it. Mm-hmm. There are thousands of Bardock players, you know. There are thousands of Gotenks players. So I think that it's not that he's executionally hard too. There were only a couple Evil Ryu players because Evil Ryu was really hard. There are only a couple Iori players doing empty cancels because they're really hard. This isn't the case with Zamasu. This is a very easy executional game. So the only other reason that people aren't playing him is because he's not that great, or he's not meta, you know. So that's how I feel, you know. But I think, you know, people like Sonic definitely show him off. I try my best, but I don't think it's meta, especially not with only 2 players in the whole world placing with him. So
I think you get hit with the multitude of he's not on that level, and also you compare to Iori and Il Ryu, to which, like, I don't know too much about Evil Ryu, but Iori, it's like, if you don't have that dude on your team, like in fucking KOF games, it's like over. You like, you know, you want to stack the deck.
Well, I probably should like, let's take Dulon, right? Dulon's a good character, but everyone doesn't use Dulon, right?
Okay, yes.
Because he's different. That's a better example. Dulon, he's just a different character. You know, Shenwu, pretty easy. Dulon, not really, to play. So you have to have a different mindset with him. That being said, there were still a lot of Dulon players. You know, they might not have top 8 Evo. There were some, right? Mm-hmm. That constantly top 8 Evo, but you saw Dulon a lot throughout KOF's lifespan. Right. Zamasu, you literally only see 2 players. Internationally, only 2. Like that, come on. He can't be that good. You know, if he was that good, people would find a way. Same way they found a way with Evil Ryu. Like they started plinking. You know, my thing is, if people keep saying like he's a good character, but he's hard to play. But if a character, Mishimas are hard to play. You never don't see a Mishima in top 8 of a tournament, or you never there are tons of Mishima players, you know. As with Zamasu, there's like, again, 2. So
and it'll probably be just like the ratio right now, where it's like there's only two, and in the whole bunch of Mishima players, it's like the top 10% are the ones that are like really doing shit with them, you know, because it's
that's
so
true.
difficult to play. But
Yeah,
yeah, you're right, man. It's so weird too, especially in a game like Dragon Ball, that there's these characters that don't get a lot of representation. But at the same time, if people weren't such big fans of this character, maybe you wouldn't be playing that character. You'd be the one
that's
guy
true.
that's like,
That's
you know
true.
what, man? I'm not playing this.
That's
You know,
true. And you have characters. That's not to say that there aren't unpopular characters that people don't play that are like Majin Buu. I think he's S tier. Alium literally bodied me for hours with Majin Buu at Evo for hours. Because I have been telling him for months like he's not that great a character, and he was like, "I'll show you, Kami." Right? So he showed me character's definitely strong, but no one plays him because he's not popular. Zamasu is popular and no one plays him. So, like, I mean, I just don't see it. I look at the facts. I look at the facts. So I don't personally think he's that meta. Everyone who played him dropped him. So if someone wants to like show me, not name Sonic Fox, who can like play every single character in the game,
Yeah.
at a high level, then I'm really open to it, and I would love to see people be successful with him.
All right. All right.
Who's up next?
All right, next question. Let's get to this. Hold on. Just clicked away. Everything is bad. Next question comes from Lemon. This is for Kami. What makes you choose Goku Black over SSJ, despite most tournament players going or picking mostly SSJ?
That's a great question. That's actually a really good question. SSJ is a good to answer it simply. SSJ is a good team player. Goku Black is a better solo or point character, right? And I'm not playing SSJ. Well, when I'm looking into my game plan, I want all characters to do certain things. You know, I really feel like Goku Black is able to just through his mobility and through the way he can move and the way he can engage. I like that type of play style, and I feel like whereas with Goku, I have to be very defensive and I have to be very passive as a player. With Goku Black, I can be aggressive, you know, and that's why I feel like I was able to make that big comeback. You know, people constantly say that Goku is a better anchor than Goku Black, but I don't see no Goku's making no comebacks, you know, and I feel like that's because the character is a defensive character, whereas Goku Black can create aggressive situations. Goku is a better team player, and usually you're playing him for the assists and what he can add to a team. Goku or Black, Zamasu, whatever you want to call him, Black is a character who, if things go right or if things go wrong, he can be played in the point or the assist position, and I really appreciate that, and that's why I like him more than Goku. That being said, I don't think Goku's bad. I think Goku's really strong. Like I think A+ where he's been recently ranked is a great position for him. He just adds so much to a team. Goku Black like sucks the synergy out of your team, but you get a better point character. And for me, that's what I want. I want 3 characters that can be played on point. I don't want I don't need a Hawkeye or well, not a Hawkeye. I don't need a Doctor Doom on my team where if this character's in, it's because I'm losing. You know, I want when Goku Black's in, my Goku Black does a lot of aggressive offensive work, and it's because that's the type of character he can be. Goku, he's just not that type of character. So Goku, to sum it up, Goku's still really strong, better team character. Black, better offensive / point character. And personally, I like that. I like the offense. And I like Black more. Like he's cool. He calls people uncouth. Like, come on.
Filthy Ningen.
He calls people filthy. Like that's messed up. You lose.
That means you don't shower, dude. It means
like
you stink.
You lose to to end one more thing. Goku Black also has better matchups against a lot of the meta characters. I feel like you know, Goku versus Ginyu is difficult, very hard. Black versus Ginyu, pretty much 5-5. So a lot of people are just looking at it from the standpoint. A lot of people look at it as if they're always winning, like best case scenarios. I think about worst case scenarios. What if my point character dies? Who am I stuck with? Do I want to be stuck with Goku or Black? best case scenario, of course I want Goku, but West Coast scenario, Black is who I want in those situations. So yeah.
Good fucking answer, man.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, Gibby.
Next question comes from Super Larry. What does everyone think of Frieza?
I'm being put onto this reversal
me.
golden Frieza shit, man.
Somebody show me. I don't.
Oh no, dude! If you want to see some good Frieza stuff, look up Hey Percival on Twitter. That's a buddy of mine in SoCal. He does almost exclusively Frieza to Gold Frieza stuff. He's got a bunch of videos up that he posts on there. This guy's an old school anime slash. He just plays all fighting games, but he's mostly known for Guilty Gear, Melty Blood, all that stuff. NorCal, SoCal native, and it's a great player all around. Great guy too. Always down to play matches, willing to teach. A lot of people underestimate him because they underestimate his power because he looks like your regular dude and not like a player.
Well,
but
what I want to say is more so like I want to see people show up with them in tournament and do good.
Yeah, it's just me too.
And I like that's dope. Like that there has been a lot of stuff that showed up on my timeline too, but I don't think anybody's gonna take a lot of credence into those things until they see this character start popping into like higher placings.
Hey man,
You know?
Foxy Grandpa.
Perfect legend, dog.
PL.
He's been rocking Frieza for a while now.
No, yeah, like even Knack was talking about. I might want to get a Frieza pretty soon. I was doing a show with him and Lord Knight and Biscuits yesterday. Lord Knight was forever singing the praises of reversal Golden Frieza transformation and how that's going to be the new wave. And
I'm interesting.
I'm waiting. I'm here for that. You know, I'm definitely here for Golden Frieza activations into damage.
I don't know if the guy who wrote that message saw my tweet, but I tweeted a couple last week. I said, "Man, I'm thinking about playing Frieza. The character could be possibly strong, and I still stand to that. I think he could be strong, but I also think with characters in this game, there are a lot of degenerate characters in this game, and I say degenerate meaning not that I say degenerate meaning that the toolkit of the characters in this game probably don't have a lot of good ways to deal with them if they're good. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Zamasu and Frieza are the best examples of that. If you give Zamasu orbs that are beam property, you're never going to catch him. Like, it's going to be cheap, stupid. No one can deal with a character that can fly that you can't super dash on, right? But you can, so he's not as strong. Frieza, if you make a lot of his toolkit better in a game like this where you a lot of characters don't have good neutral, then it's going to be degenerate. Like, no character is going to be able to stop that. So I believe, same with Zamasu. He's either really good or he's not good. So I'm interested to see what people do with Frieza. I have a Frieza. I just haven't played him. Well, I did play him in tournament. I have played him in tournament, but I haven't, took that next step to playing him because I want to see. I need to see like result, like 8. I want to see it. I want to see all this theory craft, all this stuff that people are talking about. I want to see it like actually work. And I could be the guy that tries it, but I also am trying to win immediately. So right now, I don't have time to like pick up a character that may or may not be strong. I'm already playing Goku Black, I may be playing Goku Black. No one really knows what I'm going to play.
Don't be giving away the keys of the city already, man.
But I'm already playing Black, who's like considered low tier, right? So do I really want to play another character that's low tier in this sea of Bardock in 16? No. So I'm interested, just like you. I want to see it. Yeah. Show me the Emperor of the Universe.
I'm a fan of the character. Like, I actually do like the character.
I love him.
I think Cooler's better.
No, I'll say no. I definitely
Cooler,
no.
Cooler got bodied twice, man. Cooler came back as a metal man and got bodied again. Like,
that wasn't even a real Cooler though, man. The real Cooler just had like this side of his face left, He was like, the Phantom of the Opera. Just had this chunk of his face left, and that one piece of his face was controlling everything.
The Phantom of the Opera.
Dude, like Phantom of the Opera took over New Namek.
That's wild.
I bet you those Nameks looked at him and was like, damn it, how many of these guys exist?
They're like,
man, always trying to mess with us.
You blew up the old planet. You gotta blow up the new planet.
Here come your brother to take the new planet, and he don't even want the Dragon Balls.
Oh, let me ask you this: does he have a meta cooler color? Like, is this color too meta cooler?
No, I didn't see a Metacooler color. He does have a Frieza color. That's
okay.
cool.
Okay. So, yeah, that's what I think about Frieza. I definitely think he's the cooler brother. No pun intended.
It's okay. I've heard it all day, dude.
Yeah.
After Bandai Namco put that tweet up, I was like, he's a cooler character than his brother. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna.
Not for at least another year.
All right, Gibby, hit us with the next one, man.
All right, next one. This is a quickie. Davamon asks, which 17 do you want? 17 from Dragon Ball Super or Super 17 GT?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's really tough.
Ah.
God, like.
All right, I guess I was wrong. This is
Damn, I am so solo on this opinion, I guess, because I'm
Like, if you're talking raw destructive power, you definitely want Super 17. Like, that dude was like
yo,
murking everybody.
The smirk that he be giving people after he murked them too.
Dude.
Yo, he be like, I need that. Honestly.
Here's the reason why I like 17 and why most people didn't like 17, because they just didn't like his face and his hair. Because that dude look crazy, man. Like, that dude, if you look at his portraits, like, he got them crazy eyes, and when he get happy, he's like that and shit. And his hair be all hanging off to the side, all stringy and stuff, like hella unkempt. I'm like, I like that shit though, man. I'm like, this dude is like,
Super 17. Honestly, I'm gonna be happy with either one, but Super 17.
Super 17 is like, ooh.
He wouldn't fit in the game. I don't think they could put him in the game. Just absorbing everything. You remember?
Yeah, man. He couldn't take no damage.
No damage, dude. He took a full power Super Saiyan 4 Kamehameha. Nah.
I don't know, guys. I just can't acknowledge GT. I'm sorry. It's just
that's crazy.
I can't.
Call yourself a Mexican, man? Come on.
What? Hey, you know what? We were fans of we were fans of the Super Boo saga. So
wow. You like the only one.
No, I'm lying. I don't like but
I'll
I
never
don't know.
forget.
Super Boo, that's who I want in the damn game. Shoot.
Yeah, he'd be super cool. I'll never forget when Gohan comes back and he calls Boo in the Japanese dub a retard. I'm like, first
people were just like, hey,
those questionable fucking sons.
Check your privilege when he's like, come on.
I'm like, whoa, Gohan, you come back? That's what is this the real you?
I'm ultimate Gohan.
I'm like, you just think you can just say what you want. Like, you can't come to North Carolina and say that, Gohan. You can start calling people. Get out of here, man. I was glad he got body. I'm like,
with your ableist language and stuff.
Yeah, dude. Get this
like,
guy.
Whoa, Gohan. It's 1998, all right? It's a little late for this kind of talk.
I'm like, dude, hey.
Have you guys seen that dub somebody put on Twitter where Gohan shows up and fights Super Boo and he says something about Goku and then Gohan's like, fuck Goku.
Oh yeah,
you guys seen that shit?
The Teen Titans trailer, yeah.
Fuck Goku.
Where's Goku? Fuck Goku. Bam.
Yeah. We should have a whole arc dedicated to that.
Goku, fuck my dad.
All right, what we got next?
All right. Next question. Oh man. Next question is from McFly. Hold on, let me read this first. Oh boy. Okay, so it's been said that it's good to mix in other games to keep from burning out and build up skills from a different angle. For a new fighting game player who's into Dragon Ball FighterZ, what are some other games that complement it, and what skills translate?
That's a
Air
I have
Dashers.
the answer. Yeah,
Air Dashers in general, yeah.
I think having a good what's the word I'm looking for? Having a good foothold among anime games / Air Dashers is a good starting point. But I was not a top Marvel 3 player. I played it when I got home from practice. But, like, I transferred tons of things from Marvel 3 into this game. Like, a lot of my thought processes. So I think playing Marvel 3 along with Air Dashers gives you the best best, will give you the best like foot forward going into this game. Me personally, so I don't know about Marvel Infinite. I didn't play that.
I was for me it's Air Dasher. I could try to make the stretch that SNK games could do it, but honestly, you just be better off playing like Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, or Persona, because the director of Dragon Ball FighterZ recently created Persona 4 Ultimax. So that would be another game that you could play and have some similar elements in. To that end, Dragon Ball FighterZ is a very unique kind of game in the sense that a lot of what you find in other fighting games just isn't present in the way that you would expect them to be. Like, a lot of people complain about how there's no real zoning in Dragon Ball FighterZ because a lot of the characters who are supposed to be zoners get beat by Super Dash, you know?
Yep.
And then, I mean, actually, the funny thing is Apology Man was talking up and down about how he cracked the code of Beerus, and I'm like, all right, let's see it happen. Let's see it happen in France, baby.
These claims, man. Fuck
Dude,
it.
he was on one too. I was like, all right, dude.
That's like after you take the dopest nap of all time and you think you can like you solved fucking the meaning of life and shit. and then like 30 minutes later, like, wait, what? Wait,
what happened? Where'd it go? I had it.
I had it in my head, but you know what? I'm convinced I'm about to throw my life away to try to figure this character out now. You know?
I think that's why people commit stuff to Twitter, because they're just like, okay, now everybody's gonna be able to remind me of after I forget it. Well, yeah,
Gabe, you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, Air Dashers. Yeah, that like you guys are saying, it's different. It's a different game that there's very specific. The way you play in this game, it's how you lock somebody down, how you play defense, doesn't translate well against all other fighting games. Like, it's just almost non-existent in other games. You have to understand how to have a well-rounded Air Dasher type of understanding of like what it means to play Air Dasher footsies, you know, versus other games that are more grounded footsies. Like, and it's not specific to like literally I need a Lin. Like, it could be like a footsie could be an air dash. Like that's, you know, the range of that, and you know how you could lock that situation down. You make that decision upon what this person can do, type shit like that. Like, it's different, you know. You got to be able to manage your what you can do in each spacing, and it doesn't translate so well with the more grounded games.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I didn't say, I think NRS games, because of the amount of rock paper scissors that are in NRS games, could help you in this game too. You know, there are players like Beyond Toxin who made a big splash, and he's an NRS player. Never played an anime game in his life, and was one of the top Dragon Ball players. You know, so being able to rock paper scissors and be confident in your reads is important. So I think that game can help. Maybe help the least, but it helps.
Mm.
Okay.
I'm gonna say be Sonic Fox, play NRS, and play Skullgirls.
There you
And
go.
then you got Dragon Ball Fighters.
And Eunice.
I don't think he plays that.
He don't play it no more, but he played it for a while.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
He played every anime game except Guilty Gear.
All right, next question is from Kevin Tech. Comedy, this is specifically for you. What's the next tournament that you're going to, and how do you like your chances?
My next tournament is SoCal Regionals. I'm really, so I'll say this. Evo, I was very confident I would make top 8. I knew I would, just because of what I believed and what the work and how I planned it out. SCR, I'm very confident I'll make top 8. I'm pretty confident I can win that tournament. I'll say there's a good chance I can win that tournament, but I'm going to need to have the right mindset. I recently was in Boston. I did not perform as well at the Boston tournament as I would like to, because of mostly outside the game things. They didn't. I'm not an excuse maker, so I'm not gonna. I give it the guys who beat me. You guys, you got it. You know, 100%. That's your win. But I wasn't prepared for the lack of headsets and the types of just the type of venue that it was. I wasn't prepared for it, and it showed in my play. You know, when I got on stream, I was me. When I was off stream, I wasn't me, because we have sound. But that being said, if I use that as an excuse, I'm not going to be able to get no better. So I took Shine as a learning experience. I've made a lot of adjustments to my team. So you guys are going to be very surprised with who I'm playing. I mentioned the name a couple times during the stream. So you're going to be very surprised with who I'm playing, and I think I can win. So.
All right, I like it. And we're gonna go to this last one, which isn't really a question. Ratsu is letting you know, Kami, that the last day for pre-sale is tomorrow for Thunderstruck. So after the 31st, it's gonna go up a bit more expensive.
Okay. I will let my beautiful sponsors know about that.
All right. That's it for the questions, everybody.
Okay.
Oh man, there was something I had in my head. Oh, I know. Go ahead, Gibby. Oh, so yeah, man. Damn. I'd say you guys asking the questions killed it, and our panel tonight fucking killed it. Shout outs to us.
Yeah, 2-hour episode, first ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's another thing I was gonna point out. Like, this is also the fastest 2-hour episode I ever had.
Seriously.
This shit rolled by fast as hell. Did not feel like 2 hours. Damn.
I don't know. I like to talk, guys. So it's probably because of that.
No, you
we love it
please
too, man.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. Shit. It was a really good episode. Yeah, man. No comment. I really dig your mental strength, man, and how you persevered through a lot of stuff, and it's been very evident that that's why you're where you're at. And I could definitely relate to that too, as a guy that played sports in high school and stuff like that, and just like sports in general, that I can relate a lot to your metaphors that you bring up. Like, they're really relatable. I think that's also a big thing about you, is that you're actually really relatable, versus a lot of other players, you know, is that it's really easy to understand these points that you're trying to bring up. And it's kind of similar to the thing that we were talking about, Reno, last time too, is that the way you guys communicate what's happening, or the way your gameplay is, it's easy to understand and gives us a little bit of insight as to like what a top player's decision making could be and what makes the difference. You know, you're talking about the RPS type stuff, and what makes Reynolds, yourself, and a guy like Sonic Fox reach such a high level that it's sometimes difficult for people who aren't top players to be able to quantify exactly what that is.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, man, this discussion was super valuable for me. So shit, man, shout outs to you, dude.
Thank you, man. Shout outs to you guys. Like I said in the beginning, a big fan of the show, big fan of you, a big fan of Hell Pockets, big fan of Gibby and what he did with Super Desperation Radio.
Yeah. Shout out to SDR.
You guys have always been like strong parts of your scenes, especially KOF, and you guys bring nothing but positivity. I don't hear like too many negative things about you guys, or not really anything at all, but I don't, like, you guys support your scenes and people love you. And you know, people, I just want to let y'all know that people who may not play your game, like, we see that, you know, and it makes us want to support it. So
It's much
I think
appreciated.
it's really important. So yeah.
What a guy. Shit, man. You know, it's that one strong piece of positivity that makes a difference, man. And,
yeah, man, just hearing stuff like that makes it totally worth it.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. I need to mainline that. Give me some more.
Say my name one more time.
Yeah. No, man, but fuck. So much to look forward to. We say this every single time, and I'm glad that we can keep saying it. So much to look forward to in the future of Dragon Ball FighterZ, in the future of No Kami. Chris is a VIP at Bandai Namco now.
Wait.
We're trying to sneak everybody in. Yeah, let's go test out new characters.
Are you officially a Namcop?
Oh yeah, I got followed by Bandai Namco yesterday, so I
You're
guess
a Namcop.
I'm a Namcop now. Yeah,
so
man.
I can send all my frustrations that I have towards.
I mean,
I can.
It ain't going to the complaint department. I can tell you that.
I'm gonna have to shape up, man. I
Oh,
see
man.
it's a Namcop in there.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
fuck Super Dash. Hellpop's gonna be like, oh really? Fuck Super Dash.
Buff that shit.
Hey, but just keep hey, fuck it. Give me the buffs, man. Yeah, Chris, I don't know, man. Yeah, man, we have a lot of things planned in the future on Mount Paozu Arcade and Game Goons in general. As a matter of fact, I want to let y'all know that we're so on our grind. I finally put pencil to paper, and we're finally going to come out with that new Mount Paozu Arcade t-shirt design by yours truly. Yeah, I'm excited to get that done and get that out for you guys.
Oh, you gonna do it?
Yeah, man. If you guys want to show some support, we do have a Teespring, so look forward to that as far as what's coming from me. So go ahead, Hot Pockets. I'll let you say what you got to say about the episode and close us out after.
I'm only gonna make one request for the design: zip-up hoodies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I've thought about all the complaints of what you guys don't have and don't want. You know, no, I'm gonna definitely gonna incorporate a.
Oh boy, Kami's video feed died.
Oh.
He fell asleep on camera. Oh no. Oh no, downtime.
Oh, he's back.
He was like literally there.
All right, he's back. He's back.
Okay. So yeah, there's definitely gonna be some zip-up hoodies, and there'll be a design specifically to take advantage of those zip-up hoodies, because I didn't like the way the last one worked with the zip-up.
For sure.
So yeah, man, look forward to that.
All right. Well, and with that, I want to thank everyone for joining in for this special 2-hour-long episode of Mount Paozu Arcade, and of course, thank you to No Kami for joining us and bringing us a ton. Wait, what? Well, I was gonna say that. Come on, man. Anyway, thanks for coming. It was a very enlightening discussion, and I love talking FG psychology with you because, as Abe said, you make it very relatable in terms that not only he and I can relate to, but you actually capture something that I think a lot of not just players and fans, but people that produce this content have been trying to do, which is venture out beyond the realm of the players, the fans. They're trying to reach those people who are like, I'm watching ESPN and all of a sudden Street Fighter V is on the show. I can't understand this shit. You're reaching those people with this kind of talk. And I was like, wow, this is actually the first time it's ever really come together for me like that. So thank you for coming here and putting that nice breath of fresh air spin on it. And you can, of course, follow him at NoKami on Twitter. And I mean, that's really it. All I got left to say is I'm going to use my real ender right now because I've been using the other one. That's not really catching on. So I want to thank everybody for watching another episode of Mount Paozu Arcade. And for everybody here at Game Goon Studios, keep it super if you know what I'm saying.